Hi there, good noon and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep channel, your home for all things related to your B School exam preparation. My name is Vikrant. I am your personal coach for everything related to English and communication. And today we are going through our fourth session of the series where we sit down and look at some important VRC questions. So we know that Maharashtra CET can be quite different from all these other exams that you typically go through. So these sessions are aimed at ensuring that you feel thoroughly prepared. And as usual, let's start with something that I want you to think over. So each one of you who's attending these sessions is participating actively, is making mistakes. Rest assured, you are the one who is learning through each one of these mistakes tremendously. Every mistake takes you on your journey forward. Okay, so cat mock questions, man, wow. Hello Parikshit, good afternoon. Hashtag travel, man, your screen name hurt me. It's a good name. I wish I could take a mini vacation right now, but you guys have an exam to write and I'll be with you until then. Okay, so tentative dates 9th and 10th of March, the last date. Target score is 142 marks and above. If you are aiming at JBIMS through All India 99.97 percentile, and to help you reach that goal, we have our special Maharashtra CET specific crash course. We launched it because we received a lot of queries. We did not even have it last year. Here are some stellar features of this course. You can join it for just 5,000. You'll find a link as a pinned link on the chat. Otherwise, you can always go to BYJU'S Exam Prep and do it from there. Okay, I haven't added it onto my slides yet, but we have our first All India Open Maharashtra CET mock happening real soon. We will open the window on 19th of February. So gear up for that and make sure that you write it to know where you stand vis-a-vis the competition. And until then, for the next week or so, put in a lot of effort to move towards that goal. So overview of the exam. By now, because it's the fourth session, I am just quickly taking you through this. Those of you who are new, in case you have any question, you can ask. And that's the marking scheme. The total number of questions across sections, take it as tentative. Okay, this is the approximate number that you would get. This may not be exact. And in fact, last year they did not even segregate the sections clearly. Things were jumbled up a bit as well. Okay, so within English, within VNRC, you get reading comprehension, grammar, vocab, fill in the blanks, and Parajumbles. So that's what you basically need to prepare for. So you notice I had already taken a dedicated session on vocabulary, a dedicated session on fill in the blanks, and tomorrow at 12, I will take a dedicated session on grammar. So all the different varieties that you get in the exam, I'll take you through those tomorrow. Okay, so let's get ready for the questions. So the first set is a passage. So read it paragraph by paragraph, and after that we'd go ahead and solve questions. So you remember in the last class I took you through a passage which was long. So Maharashtra CET can give you a long passage, but then it can also give you a short passage which has around 300 odd words. So today the focus is going to be on 300 words. Good afternoon everyone. Harshit, Kaustubh, Komal, Mr. Annu. Whoa. Okay, so here is the passage. Why don't you go ahead, start reading it, and we will work on it soon. Let me know once you're done reading it. Okay, so here is the next one. And here comes the next part. Thank you, Harshit and Vinay. Okay, so I hope you by now read this, and that's about it. That's all that is there to this passage. And with that, let me take you over to the questions now. Here you go. Question number 1. What is the passage about? So, right off the bat, sort of a main idea question for you. So, if I were to summarize the passage, I will say that this passage talks about food shortage. It starts off by defining the concept and then gives a few examples for it. It gives an example, gives a few examples. In fact, in the very first paragraph, it goes on to describe the variety of reasons behind food shortage, natural, socio-political causes. It also mentions the various characteristics of food shortage and informs that it's not simply related to lesser production. So going by that, the best answer choice is going to be A, because B will be narrow, C is narrow, outcomes are not talked about, myth is not talked about, so D and E can straight away be ruled out. A, B, C all are there in the passage, with A being the best one, and all of you have done a fabulous job with this. Here is the next one. Okay, so let us see what you choose your answer for this. Okay, Harshit is the first one off the bat. Now, I would say that most of us, when we go through first, second, and third, will definitely label first as true. So, you definitely need to have first as your answer. Then, when I move over to second, the world is consuming more than it is producing. This is something that is not even mentioned in the passage. The passage does talk about or does define food shortage as a production problem. Okay, not enough food is grown to meet regional needs. It does not really talk about the entire world. So second, of course, goes beyond the scope of the passage. And now third, food security exists when all people. Now the problem is the passage does not talk about food security. So ideally, I would not want to choose it. I'd probably put it under the category of can't say, but my answer choices are such that I do not have only first as my option. So I either need to combine it with second or with third. So of the two, third is more likely to be true as compared to second. Third can still be inferred on the basis of what food shortage is, and therefore I would suggest that the best answer is going to be option E. Right? So there are times when we may need to pick up an answer choice even when it is not 100% correct, but because it is the best one. So Harshit, if you thought along the same lines, that was absolutely amazing. So here is the next one for you. After going through a slightly challenging question, I hope you'd find this gives you a little more breathing space. All right, where are the answers? So this is one of the statement, in fact, idea restatement questions, and D is going to be the most appropriate interpretation for it. A, beyond the scope. B, states the opposite of it. C does not even mention British political decisions, but D does, and that is why that's the answer. I think this is more or less an easy question as far as idea restatement questions go. And here is the fourth one. So another question which is carefully, consciously designed to help you learn deal with ambiguities. Let's see. Okay, so where is that ambiguity here? I have a problem with this, but B is true, C is true, D is true. So because B, C and D are true, A I may not be very happy with greatly, but we'd still go ahead and choose E as our answer, rightfully so. So you guys are doing a great job of dealing with that ambiguity. And here is one last question. So you'd find this word in the first paragraph. You can refer to that and see what it means. Monish, Monish, when you look at B, non-market political policies are definitely one of the factors mentioned. Then look at D. It was more of a political thing than an actual environmental production thing. So B, C, D were definitely true. A we could have questioned. Okay, importation is a very fancy way of saying import. Bringing the goods or services into a country from abroad for sale. So ingress once again means entry, egress means exit, departure means exit, termination means the action of stopping something, and repudiation is rejection of a proposal or an idea. So A is the only one that can be chosen as similar. So if I just put these all simply, this is how we'd probably go ahead and label these. So there is only one which deals with entry, and therefore we have to go ahead and mark that as an answer. And with that, let me take you over to your second passage. Remember, we are doing smaller passages today. So therefore we are reading, going through two. So here's the first paragraph. Okay, here is next. Monish, I'll let you know once we have read the passage. Next. Okay, so with that, let's dive into our questions now. Here is the first one, a reasoning based question to boot. Go ahead and tell me what you think. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look. So, inferred. A, technology helped accelerate transitions in the right directions and transition process to more sustainable use. Now, yes. Earlier, no. Remember, earlier it was associated with industrialization, which led to pollution. So, it is missing on this fact that we're talking about the present, and therefore A can be ruled out. This once again is not mentioned. This losing faith is not mentioned, so therefore can't say or cannot be determined. C, on the other hand, is talking about the present plus cloud compliance, so C is true. And when A and B are ruled out, obviously option D and E are also ruled out, and that is why we need to have C as our answer. Okay, Monish, just to answer your question lest I forget, we bring in a lot of sessions for you practically every day. Some of them are directly oriented towards Maharashtra CET, Some may talk about other exams like CAT 24, but even there, RC is same, paragraph-based questions are to a certain extent, Parajumbles same. So you can even attend those. So I know about only my sessions, but then you also have sessions on reasoning, sessions on math, sessions on visual and / abstract reasoning. So the best way to know about all those sessions is to turn on the notifications by pressing the bell icon. Okay, that ways you would be in the loop consistently. Here is the next question. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be A, because according to the passage, it is the buyer and seller that use it. That is something that we know for sure. Whether government uses technology to monitor or not is something that has not been directly given in the passage, so you cannot call it true. B can be concluded from the first paragraph itself. C is mentioned almost as it is. This entire line is written as it is. So this is definitely true. Mind you, we are looking for what is not true. D is once again mentioned in the passage, and E is given towards the end. A is a distortion of what the passage says, and that is why our answer here is going to be A. C and D are written as it is, so I won't even need to talk about it. I can take you to the back to the relevant parts, but then you can always use the seeker to go there. Okay, here is the next one. Okay, so let us check. Let's start with A. Remember, there is this line, there is this part in the passage that talks about digital networks enable trading partners to gauge each other's adherence to earth-friendly standards in their business operations. Through cloud-based networks, business can determine whether a potential trading partner ethically sources its raw materials, etc., complies socially relevant parts. So all of these make A true. Now, within that segment of the passage, there is this line that says, and I'll just read it out for you: through digital networks, some of the world's premier technology firms are lending businesses, governments, and not-for-profit organizations the tools necessary to combat hunger, provide clean water and sanitation, and promote good health and well-being. So, true. However, this has not been mentioned anywhere in the passage. The rest of C is true, but CSR outcomes not mentioned. And therefore, we can be very confident about A and B. C needs to be removed, and that is why our answer should be option D. Some of us have definitely gotten this right. So that's how it rolls. Should we move further? Okay, here is your next one. Question number 9 on the screen. A shorter, smaller question for a change. Alright, so here the answer should be all of the above as A, B and C. We just needed to check this. C is also referred in the last paragraph or mentioned in the last paragraph and should therefore be chosen. And as is customary, let me ask you a vocabulary based question as well. Which of the following words is the most similar in meaning to envisioned? Very first paragraph, first few lines in fact. Okay, so what is envisioned? You know, vision is to see. So envision is basically to imagine or expect that something is a desirable possibility in the future. So to see something as a desirable possibility. So anticipated will come rather close to it, and most of you have actually chosen that as well, and that is why we'd go ahead and choose it. Imaged, imagined could have worked, but imaged, no, that may not really work. So that takes care of RC, and here you go with fill in the blanks of to blank type. Here is the first one. What's your answer? I think I have a timer. Let's see. Well, 30 seconds will be cutting it too close, but it's okay. Take your time. Okay, so let us check. Let's start with the first blank. The novel's portrayal of a passionate and enduring love story has the power to dash readers' emotion, stir readers' emotions. Yes. Can you quell emotions? Do we use it for emotions? See, quell means to stop something, especially by force. Now everything here is positive, okay? Passionate, enduring love story. So quell, two problems. We don't use it with emotions and it's a negative word on top. Intensify, maybe yes. Suppress, no. Can you excite emotions? No. When you have excess of emotions, you become excited. But since a lot of you have chosen E, let's put it in suspense. So I'm eliminating B and D. Let's look at the second blank now. Novel's portrayal of a passionate and enduring love story has the power to stir, intensify, excite readers' emotions and fortify their belief in the strength of love. So it makes them. So passionate and enduring love story will increase your trust in those things. Yes. It will discourage your belief. No. Obliterate is to completely annihilate. Obliterate is to remove all signs of something by destroying it completely or by covering it thoroughly. Okay. So say the missile strike was devastating. The target was totally obliterated. Obliterate would definitely not go, and therefore E can be eliminated, and that leaves you with only A as our answer. Okay. Here is the next one. Question number 12 on the screen. I'll give you a 10-second head start before I turn on the timer. Ooh, this is easy if you know the meanings, of course. Right, so the correct answer here is B. I just looked at the first blank. You notice breathtaking cinematography, compelling storyline, all positive. So mundane, which means ordinary, is a negative word. Let's remove it. Then tedious means boring, negative. Let's remove it. Predictable in the context of a storyline is a negative thing, right? So let's remove it. It can be positive in some other case. And disjointed basically means not well connected or well ordered. Okay, something which is garbled, something which is jumbled. We normally use this to refer to words or ideas. So this is again a negative word, so can be ruled out. So I did not even look at the second blank and I knew that the answer has to be B. Here is the next one. Once again, 10-second head start before the timer ticks. Okay, so I forgot to start the timer, but by then you've already kind of gone on to solve it. So let's ignore the timer and dive into the question. The correct answer, we've picked up A, B and D. Okay, so let's see. The practice of meditation is known to exacerbate stress. Can meditation exacerbate is to make something worse, increase stress. So you can do that. If you are saying that meditation increases your stress here, then it needs to reduce the inner peace. But then induce is opposite. Induces, it brings. So both of these ideas will become contradictory. So A needs to be ruled out. B, the practice of meditation is known to ignore stress and hinder. Practice of meditation, how would it ignore stress? People can ignore something, a practice cannot ignore something, so that won't fit in grammatically. The other one that you've picked up is D, alleviate stress. Alleviate is to reduce something negative, so that works. Cultivates a sense of inner peace and clarity, even that will work. So yeah, D is definitely suitable. So the problem with A is exacerbate can go. It's not that it cannot go. Who knows? Maybe some study can tell you that meditation increases stress, but in that case, it needs to reduce a sense of inner peace and clarity. Induce has a different meaning. Induce basically means to lead someone towards doing something. So that won't work, and therefore A should be eliminated. Okay. Here is your next question or question set. So typical Parajumbles in the CAT, they are non-MCQs, but in all the other exams they are MCQs. So here is the question along with the answer choices. Tell me what it works. Harshit, something like hinder for the second blank. Hinder inner peace. I don't know, you have to think. It does give me the right idea, but I'm not sold on whether it will fit in grammatically. Can be. In terms of idea, it definitely can be. So what's your take on 14th? Go ahead, start your process of elimination and arrive at the answer. So clues. So I would say that one such medium, OTT is part of the digital explosion. So you need to have C plus A. It's not here, you have it here, you have it here, you don't have it here, you have it here. Then you notice C and A are definitely connected. When you look at C, it says between all this. What is all this? B and D. So B and D, so either BD or DB needs to come before C. Whichever, I'm not even thinking of the order, but all this can only come from these two sentences. So C needs to, so we need to have BD or DB, but then C needs to come after, so option C can also be ruled out. And in E, B and D are separated, even that is ruled out, so the best answer is B. And here is the next question for you. Go ahead and share your answer. Okay, so let's look at our clues. So we have so these are three very immediately recognizable clues. So the fires will refer to wildfires mentioned in C, right? So can I say that D should come after C? Not immediately before, but D should definitely come after C. Wherever that is not happening, let's rule it out. So that basically leaves you with what? Sorry, D should come after C. So, I think the last one, I made a mistake there. I'll just erase it. So two options are ruled out for sure. Okay, then what else? B should also come after C. They will refer to wildfires. So that leaves you B and C, and the only difference now is both of them you can see start with CB. So AD or DA, because A has also, you need to have some amount of effect happening before. So this, if you put D before A, that can justify the use of also. Can B justify it as well? D does not, okay, D just talk about smoky plumes. No, that won't work. But scorching something and then also doing something, yeah, C and A, but then C and A won't really work because CB are together. So millions of hectares killed or displaced, an estimate 3 billion millions, yes, that would also work. Then B and A can work. D does not exactly give me anything that is getting affected. It just talks about a phenomenon. B does, C does. So A is better after B. And therefore, I will actually lean towards option B. But then B also has a problem. The problem here is it is talking about that smoky summer, and the smoke is introduced in D, so we ideally cannot put it before D. So let me see, CBAD, CBDA. Which one should we go with? Because ideally I want it after D. The fires. So I think it's better to put it after D. Putting it before D is making a bigger problem, and therefore I'll go with option C. So I would prefer this also to come immediately after something direct, but then also can have that range where even if you put in a sentence or two in between, this can definitely work. So CBDA should be better than CBAD. But this turned out to be closer than what even I anticipated. So that's what I brought for you today. If you enjoyed working with me, don't forget to give it a like. And tomorrow, join me at 12 for a lot of grammar-based questions and their discussions together. So I'll take you through all the different varieties that have been asked in the exam so far. And once again, a reminder that we have a fabulous Maharashtra CET crash course at a really amazing price. You can consider that. And our All India Open Mock starts on 19th of February. So stay ready. All India Open Mock for Maharashtra CET specifically, right? Opens. So stay ready for that. In case you know somebody is preparing for CAT 24, we have actually started a window for All India Open Mock CAT as well. That started yesterday. So you can let them know of that too. Right? So that's it from me today. Until I see you next, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch, and do tune in tomorrow at 12. Take care and have a great weekend ahead.